Debo Samuel and the running backs are going to eat that phase of the game alive. I mean, you're going to have Debo Samuel line up in the slot calling mouse in the house on Reggie Ragland's mismatch, because Reggie Ragland's not going to be able to keep up with Debo Samuel across the middle. There's going to be a whole lot of drag routes dropped off. They're going to be concerned about guarding the rush. So I think the middle of the Chiefs' defense, those linebackers, Anthony Hitchens, Reggie Ragland, are going to be really in a world of hurt this game. So I'm going to give the 49ers the advantage, because I think Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and Quan Alexander, when they've all been healthy, have been another really good part of one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Fred Warner leads the team in tackles. He seems like he's everywhere, every given play. Quan Alexander is a veteran from Nebraska, played at Tampa Bay. He's been hurt most of this year. He came back in the Minnesota game, played less in the Green Bay game, but in the Minnesota game, he came back, kind of re-energized that team with his first game back in a while. And Dre Greenlaw has just been the consistent run-stopping middle linebacker. Is the ability to guard tight ends, although I think they'll probably commit a safety to guard Kelsey. So that's another check mark for the San Francisco 49ers. Move on to the secondary. Chiefs secondary, Kendall Fuller and Tyrann Mathieu, the two big names. Tyrann Mathieu, first-team All-Pro. He's had a great year. It's been really good. I love watching the Honey Badger play. He's been phenomenal. But those two guys by themselves do not make up for the fact that the Chiefs have consistently let teams throw all over them. And they haven't really played a lot of good quarterbacks this year, even. Like, I don't know who the best quarterback the Chiefs would have played this year. It was probably Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Chiefs defense. Against the 49ers defense, he had the lowest passing yards of his career. You look at the 49ers defensive backs, you have Richard Sherman, first ballot Hall of Famer. He has 2 interceptions this postseason already. Daquan Williams, who's a solid young cornerback, he has a sack on a blitz. Ahkello Witherspoon, the safety, is one of the best safeties in the NFL. Jimmy Ward, a slot cornerback, played with the Ravens, has already won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. Rashawn Mosley had an interception against Aaron Rodgers last week, or the last game they played. He's the other safety. LaCaris Tart is a slot cornerback, kind of an up safety. He's more of a run player. He'll be a big factor in the run game, making sure the Chiefs don't get away with anything slick. So this, once again, is another check for the San Francisco 49ers. Special teams, the 49ers have Robbie Gould, who has been a great postseason kicker for his entire career. 7 for 7 for extra points this year. 5 for 5 from field goals. He has a long of 54. His average field goal length is about 38 yards. So he's done very well this season. The Chiefs have only kicked 1 field goal. Harrison Butker is 34 for 38 this year. He has made 1 field goal in this playoffs. He has missed an extra point, however. He missed an extra point in the Texans game, I believe. So you can't miss extra points, but at the same time, you look at the special teams game, that's Mecole Hardman. The Chiefs have been great returning kicks. They have all that speed. Punt returns have been good too. So I'm actually going to give, on the strength of how good Mecole Hardman has been this playoffs and returning kicks, I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs the special teams nod. Coaching is another very tough one to decide between, because you have Andy Reid, who I think is one of the top 10 NFL coaches of all time. He's an offensive innovator. And then you have Kyle Shanahan, who looks like he might be on his way there, because you've seen Kyle Shanahan go from building the RG3 offense in Washington that worked incredibly when RG3 was there, to making Matt Ryan an MVP quarterback in Atlanta with an offense that still, I believe, ranks in the top 10 in terms of yards and points of all time, to finally being able to get everybody healthy and get the San Francisco offense where he wants it to be, where he can run the ball. They can do the Mike Shanahan, just zone run, going to run a running back into the ground, but you're also just going to wear a defense down. You can pass just enough to the point where you can have a viable, dangerous offense. At the same time, all that being said, I'm going to give the check to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Andy Reid, the only bad thing with the Super Bowl is the fact that it contradicts my interest in me. I want Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl. I wanted him to win a Super Bowl when he was with the Eagles. I think he is. The fact that he was run out of Philadelphia still sits very poorly with me. So I'm going to give that check mark to the Chiefs. So all in all, when you tally up the checks, the 49ers, out of the 10 breakdowns we did, the 49ers have 7, the Chiefs have 3. However, you could argue the Chiefs have the 2 most important checks, which are the quarterback and the coaching. My prediction for this game, I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win. I think they're going to win it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a one-possession game. I think it could come down to a field goal. I think, unfortunately, we're going to have that drive at the end of the game. The 49ers are driving to take the lead or tie, and Andy Reid misuses timeouts where the 49ers are running the ball, running 7 minutes of time off the clock. He's going to misuse his timeouts. He's not going to leave himself any timeouts. Or he's going to leave the 49ers time to just run the clock out and score to win the game. I think that's something that, unfortunately, I can very much see happening, and then Andy Reid getting blamed for this Super Bowl loss. Much like he was blamed for them moving too slow when the Eagles were playing the Patriots in 2004, when he took too much time to get down the field and score there. When they were down by 10, they needed 10 points, and they had a 7-minute touchdown drive that took way too much time. So I'm going to take the 49ers. I think the Chiefs are going to score. I think it's going to be 35-31 San Francisco. So that means I do think the over will hit. I like the over in this game a lot. I think that there's too much to the contrary of people saying this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think this game either starts hot or ends hot. I think there's going to be a stretch where you have the first three possessions go score, or the last 2 possessions go score. I think it's going to be a great game. This is going to be one of the best Super Bowls that I've seen personally. I'm very excited for this game. I like the over, and I like San Francisco money line. And a little inside baseball on this. Last year at the Super Bowl, my boss for Berkmeyer Renovations goes to the Las Vegas every year for the Super Bowl. Him and his buddies do. And last year, I sent him with some money to put some futures bets on the NFL for me. And one of the bets I made, or the 4 NFL bets I made, were the Colts, the Eagles, the Ravens, and the San Francisco 49ers, who were the San Francisco 49ers at the time the bet was made. At the time the bet was made, the San Francisco 49ers let me pull out this picture. Sorry, this is bad radio. San Francisco 49ers were plus 5,000 in the Super Bowl. So on a $25 bet on the San Francisco 49ers, I stand tonight to win $1,250, which would be the biggest betting win of my life. And so I'm all in on the 49ers, pulling for them, hoping that, it's going to be a great game. Hoping that in a case that they don't win, I'm only out $25. But a win would be so awesome and be such a morale boost here. I need this win. I've been hot recently, so this plays in well. I went to church this morning, got confession, received the Eucharist again. Good karma. Walked an old lady across the street. Opened the door for a lady at work the other day. Closed for one of the cooks that was supposed to close on Wednesday. So I'm just really trying to build up good karma, get everything going to this. So we all got to be in on the 49ers. This is huge. I'm a big spread the wealth guy. I mean, if we win, next round's on me. If the 49ers win this game, next round is on me at the bar. Come up, talk to me, say, hey, next round's on you. I'll say yes, because the San Francisco 49ers won the Super Bowl just like I knew they were going to back in February of last year. Prop bets for the Super Bowl. Always a lot of fun. I've gotten really into this year. I haven't really bet any of them, but I looked them up, and there's a couple really fun prop bets that I like. The first one, heads or tails on the coin toss. I was going to bet this, then I decided not to because I lost on it last year. Heads or tails, I would have gone tails this year because tails never fails. Obviously, it's pick'em odds, so that wasn't really favorable or unfavorable. The odds on Gatorade. What flavor of Gatorade is going to be dumped on the head of the winning coach. It's the 100th year of the NFL, so they're kind of doing a bunch of old things. I'm going to pick the first flavor of Gatorade that was ever made. That is orange Gatorade. It's plus 350. It's the second biggest favorite out of the two. So orange Gatorade is my pick, plus 250. The national anthem. Over-under is 2 minutes. I take the over. It's minus 190. I think Demi Lovato is going to kind of try to... She's going to really take some breaths. She's going to... hope she's clean. She's going to kind of like let the crowd react after she hits a high note. She's going to really take it in because this is a big moment for her. This is going to be the biggest television crowd that she's performed in front of. The bet on Shakira's first song, I have Whenever, Wherever, plus 600. I think she can't open with Hips Don't Lie because she's got to build to Hips Don't Lie because that's the biggest Shakira song. I think they're going to build to that. They're going to start it off when Wherever or Whenever, Wherever, because that's a big song that a lot of people know, but it's also not the biggest song that people know. So that's plus 600 for the first song Shakira performs. There's a prop bet for who does the MVP of the game thank first at his presentation. I'm betting on God at plus 215 that when he gets MVP first, he's going to say, I'd like to thank God and my family and my teammates. But he's got to say God first to win that. That's plus 215. I like that a lot. The odds on whether or not Joe Buck and Troy Aikman mentioned the New England Patriots this Super Bowl. It's not great odds, but I thought it was funny that they had this because they definitely are. Not just because the Patriots are such a big name and all the stuff going around with Tom Brady right now. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? I have thoughts on that in a second. It's yes is minus 220 or minus 320. They have to mention him because the head coach of the 49ers was the offensive coordinator in the last Super Bowl that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck did, which was the Falcons-Patriots game. Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons at that game when that happened. He kind of got blamed for not running the ball enough when they were up. So I think that's definitely going to happen. And then the last prop bet I like is, will a John 3:16 sign be shown on the television? I couldn't believe this was plus money, but it's yes, plus 300. Of course, there's always somebody holding one up behind the goalpost. They're going to show a John 3:16 sign. Those are my favorite prop bets that we had that I could find. It's been a short show. I said I was going to get to the Tom Brady stuff. I don't think I'm going to do that, actually. A little audible. A little Omaha audible on the fly. I will be recording tonight live from the 07. I will be recording a post-game show with Skylar Cook and whoever else wants to do a post-game show with me at the 07. Whoever I can find there at the party to do a post-game show with me. It's gonna be two very different shows if the 49ers win, if the 49ers lose. if the 49ers win,